Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pronounce It with Eleuterio. Keeping up with this journey of learning the English phonetics and phonology, specifically talking about the topic of English syllables. Today, we're moving on, looking at strong and weak syllables. As the first part, we'll be looking at the differences between strong and weak syllables in the context of phonetic characteristics. So, when we look to a syllable and we want to tell whether if it's a weak syllable or a strong syllable, we can look either at their phonetic characteristics or even in terms of stress. Since stress is a chapter yet to see, we'll be looking only at the phonetic characteristics. So let's now start looking at the main differences between strong and weak syllables. Let's go. The first characteristic or the first difference is in terms of length. In terms of length, strong syllables last longer and the weak syllables last shorter. What do we mean by length and what do we mean by longer and shorter? If we analyze the word that's transcribed first, the word is about. About. If we transcribe, we will have these sounds. About. Okay, so taking into consideration that strong syllables last longer than weak syllables, what would we consider stronger and what would we consider a weak syllable? If we pronounce it, let's start pronouncing it very slow. About. If you pay attention when we pronounce this syllable, we notice that the pronunciation lasts longer than when we say So this leads us to a conclusion that this is a weak syllable and this, the diphthong ow, is a strong syllable. Why? Because we are analyzing in terms of timing, in terms of length, which one takes longer and which one takes shorter time while being pronounced. Clear? Let's now go for another characteristic, which is intensity. The intensity in strong syllables is higher. They are more intense than the weak syllables, which means that, let's go again for the word about. The pronunciation of this syllable is more intense in terms of the effort that we have to put up to pronounce that sound. So that's what the intensity is about. When we pronounce we do not put much effort, but however, when it comes to the syllable about, we have to put up some a little more intensity, a little more of effort to articulate the sound. So the strong syllables are more intense than the weak syllables. Let's go for the next characteristic, which is loudness. Loudness, what do we mean by that? Strong syllables sound louder than the weak syllables. Let's go again for the example about. When we pronounce the sound, the schwa sound, it is lower. That's why we consider it as being a weak syllable. But when we articulate the syllable about, we can notice that the pitch of our voice rises. If there is a rising in the tone of our voice, that means that we are before a strong syllable. So strong syllables are louder or sound louder than weak syllables. So as a recap, the three first characteristics, length, intensity, and loudness. We can say that the strong syllables are longer in length than the weak syllables. Second characteristic, strong syllables are more intense than the weak syllables. And the third, and our current characteristic is loudness, where we say that a strong syllable sounds louder than the weak syllables. And then in terms of vowel sounds, what vowel sounds will tell us whether if we are before a strong syllable or a weak syllable. When we have a strong syllable, they can take all or most of the vowel sounds except the schwa sound, e and u. These sounds do not provide higher intensity, loudness, and longer length, which means that if we are before these vowel sounds, we are not before a strong syllable, but rather a weak syllable, which means that these sounds make a syllable be considered as weak. So let's recap all the characteristics that we've seen so far. Let's start by the strong syllables. They are longer in length, they are more intense, they sound louder, and the most common sounds are different from which is the schwa sound, are different from e and u. These sounds do not make a strong syllables. Now, the weak syllables, they are shorter in length with lower intensity, less loudness, and of course, the common sounds that make a weak syllables are e, and u. These sounds make a weak syllables. So this is the end of our lesson. Thank you guys for watching. And let me know in the comment section from which country you are watching this video. And don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and stay tuned to the channel to see more content. I'll see you in the next lesson. Take care.